My friends, this is one of the most important videos I'll ever make because when you feel anxiety, when you start to feel anxiety, there are two tracks that you can go down. One, you can be reactive, which will make the anxiety worse and could lead to a panic attack. Or two, you can stop it in its tracks and start to calm it down and reverse it by applying the appropriate first aid techniques. If you want to know how to stop your anxiety from getting out of control and how to calm yourself down immediately, anytime, anywhere, then make sure to watch every second of this video. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome from this beautiful place in nature. My name is Adam Riley, and my mission is to help you reduce your anxiety and eventually get free of it so that you feel better and you can live the kind of life that you want to live. And to do that, we need to know exactly what to do anytime anxiety arises. We need to know the first steps we need to take anytime we're in emotional pain. I believe there is such a thing as first aid for anxiety, specific first steps we need to do anytime we feel anxiety, no matter what the anxiety is about. And these steps are exactly what I want to share with you in this video, so make sure to pay attention and stick around all the way until the end. Because the truth is, when we are physically injured, we generally know the first things we need to do. If we're cut, we know we need to stop the bleeding. If we get burned, we know we need to run it under cold water. These things help in the moment and they also start to initiate the healing process. But what about when we're in emotional pain? What about when we feel emotionally hurt or injured? Because emotional pain is not visible, it's not as obvious to us what the problem is and what to do about it. Also, because the emotions are often out of proportion to the situation, we tend to be judgmental towards them. We think we're overreacting and that there is something wrong with us. And while it's true that the emotions are out of proportion to the situation, the judging of them doesn't really help. In fact, it usually makes things worse. So let's not do that and let's find something else that actually does help. And the truth is that on some level, we all know exactly what to do. We just haven't learned how to apply it yet on ourselves when we have anxiety. If you think about when a person you care about is in intense emotional pain, most of us, at least logically, know exactly what to do to help the person calm down. Just imagine for a second that your child, a loved one, or a dear friend came to you crying and in distress. All they need from you in that moment is to be there for them, just to listen and not to judge them, to accept them and be loving and caring of them no matter what, even if they've done something messed up. The important distinction to make here is that it doesn't matter why they're feeling what they're feeling or what the situation is behind it. To calm the person down, your focus is on them, just allowing them to express themselves, allowing them to feel whatever they're feeling without judgment, without trying to fix anything, without trying to figure anything out. Figuring out and problem solving comes later when the person has calmed down. Figuring out the problem or cause of anxiety is not first aid for anxiety. When the person you care about is in emotional pain, the fact that they are not feeling good should be your first focus, not what the emotion is about. This is a crucial distinction to make. First aid for anxiety focuses on the fact that you have anxiety, not what the anxiety is about. First aid for anxiety is when you apply the same loving care, presence, and acceptance that you would give to a friend or loved one in distress to yourself. And when you really know how to do that, when you really know how to be there for yourself, how to deeply listen, and how to comfort yourself when you're in emotional pain, you switch tracks. You stop judging yourself and you switch tracks from being reactive to being proactive. And you give yourself exactly what you need in the moment to calm down your nervous system. You switch tracks from your anxiety getting out of control to getting it under control. You switch tracks from your anxiety getting worse to your anxiety getting better. And this is the very first step in the healing journey, which is why I call it essential first aid for anxiety. So, first aid for anxiety is when you do the simple, caring, loving, and accepting things for yourself that you would do for somebody else who is in intense emotional pain. But don't just take my word for it. I've created a free training where I share the anxiety relief protocol, the first 3 steps you need to do when you have anxiety. These 3 steps are essential first aid for anxiety. And in the free training, I dive deeply into each step and how to implement it in your life so you start reducing your anxiety right away and you can see that this works for you. And honestly, most people who do that free training will see a dramatic reduction in their anxiety within just a few days, sometimes even just a few hours. So make sure to go into the description of this video right now and get access to that for free. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you got value out of this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like, share it with a friend. And if you want to get free from anxiety and you want to take your life back, then make sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the notifications bell, and let's get free together.